Welcome back to another MOTOBOB video. We're covering so many of the new bikes announced at EICMA this week. If there's anything that you'd like to see on the channel, then do let me know down in the comments below. A couple of weeks back, Yamaha announced a new and updated MT-10, and it was only a matter of time before the premium spec SP version got the same refresh too. So in this video, I'll go through all of the details and tell you absolutely everything you need to know about it. But before we get started, a massive thanks to Pegase Moto for sponsoring the channel. They make the best GPS trackers I've ever used, and it gives me massive peace of mind to be able to check in on my bike whenever I want. It also records your routes and lean data and serves it all up in an easy to use app. No subscription fee and simple to install. There's a link in the description to the product page. Now of course this bike gets all of the same updates as the 2022 version of the standard MT-10, so it's worth a quick recap here. They've tweaked the cross-plane inline-4 engine for a bit more power, so 6 horses added for 160 horsepower peak. There have been plenty of changes internally, but also new fuel injection settings that help to boost torque in the real-world mid-range between 4,000 and 8,000 RPM. And the airbox got a radical redesign with some new intake ducts and some vibrating grille things, with the aim of directing the intake noise into the ears of the rider in order to create a more visceral riding experience when you get on the throttle. A new titanium exhaust also helps, and there's a new visual design that puts it in line with the rest of the ultra-modern MT lineup. Brakes are pretty much the same, but there's now a radial Brembo master cylinder, and then the electronics got a huge boost with a new TFT dash and a 6-axis IMU that powers all manner of lean-sensitive rider rates. So yeah, all that good stuff carries over to this SP as you'd imagine, but it adds a couple of bits of extra fancy kit. Firstly, the Öhlins semi-active suspension, and Yamaha say that this machine is the first motorcycle in the world to be equipped with Öhlins' very latest electronically controlled suspension system, both front and rear. Although the R1M features a similar system, the MT-10 SP has been fitted with the next generation of Öhlins electronically controlled suspension system that uses new spool valve damping technology. This state-of-the-art tech gives a greater range of damping adjustments and gives a higher degree of response. The rider can make changes through the switchgear and dash, and the menu offers a choice of 3 semi-active damping modes as well as 3 manual settings. When any of the automatic modes are selected, the system adjusts the damping to match the current running conditions, and changes are constantly made to ensure that the most appropriate settings are always in play. Manual mode allows precise electronic adjustment of compression and rebound damping for both the fork and shock. Managed through the YRC menu, the suspension can be tailored to suit the exact rider style or riding environment required. So yeah, the semi-active suspension essentially adapts to the road surface and riding style in order to deliver the optimal amount of damping in real time, so the ride softens up for easy cruising for example, but then automatically goes firm when the road gets twisty and the rider starts to push. Yamaha defined the 3 modes as follows. So A1 is a sporty mode, and it's designed to give confidence and feedback on twisties and secondary roads with a high degree of front and rear feel and good chassis stability during acceleration and braking. A2 is best suited to sporty riding on a typical highway, and A3 is designed for touring conditions with an emphasis on comfort and stability, so that one will really back off the damping. Look, the standard MT-10 with its regular mechanical suspension will probably be enough for most people, but if you do like that flexibility and the instant changes made through the switchgear, then this one might be for you. In terms of finish, it also gets a 3-piece belly pan to give it a more racy look, and they also say that it helps to protect the oil cooler. This SP version also gets steel braided brake hoses as standard, which should deliver a better, crisper feel at the lever given that there's less flex in the hoses. Yamaha also say that they offer a higher level of performance in track riding events where intensive use of the brakes results in extremely high temperatures. Now it also gets a dedicated paint scheme called Icon Performance, which they say is influenced by their flagship R1M sports bike. It looks decent to me, but I did really like the Cyan Storm on the standard bike that they announced a couple of weeks back. Which would you pick though? Let me know down in the comments. No price as of yet for this one, but the previous gen was just shy of 14 grand, so expect the same or perhaps a little more. Unfortunately, Yamaha say they won't be in dealers till mid-2022, which I guess could be down to the supply chain issues that are currently affecting the whole industry at the moment. A lot of the bikes they're announcing at EICMA, they're saying January, February from other manufacturers, but perhaps Yamaha are being a bit more realistic. Either way, it looks like a super tasty, super naked, although it is a competitive space. You've got the KTM 1290 Evo that was announced last week, week, the Triumph Speed Triple RR, Aprilia's Tuono V4 Factory, the Kawasaki ZH2 SX, or even up to the Ducati Street Fighter V4. Yamaha pretty much always have them beat on price though, and it'll almost certainly be the same here. What do you make of it though? Has that new styling settled in after a few viewings, or is it worth spending a few grand more for something truly beautiful like the Speed Triple RR or the Street Fighter V4? Let me know what you think of it down in the comments below. Which bike would you pick? And if you're new here and you want to see more videos like this, hit subscribe and I'll catch you in the next one.